that for us, senators on the platform of PDP, to come forth here and present ourselves to Nigeria and assure Nigerians that PDP remains strong and will continue to remain competitive. We are demonstrating a high level of optimism that in spite of the elites, governors, senators, House of Rep members, House of Assembly members that are defection from the PDP, we are very, very optimistic that the committee headed by Senator Bukola Saraki has the capacity to resolve all or minimize all contending issues. Don't forget that the person that we're talking about here has been the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a prominent member of the PDP, a governor before in his own right, and so it is in consideration of his antecedents that he was considered to be the chairman of that committee. And even within us here, you also have members of the committee. Governor Saraki Dixon, for instance, is a member of the committee. These are people who have Senator Governor Dankwambo, a member of the committee. These are people that in political parlance you say have been tested and are trusted. And we believe that the ordinary party member values the PDP, and there is no amount of intimidation, no amount of persuasion that will leave the grassroots politician that is PDP to go out of the PDP. You can hear some of the ramblings in Kano. You can hear some of the ramblings in Delta, and Kebbi, where party members have come out openly to say, we are not yes boys. Where party members have come out in the wards, in the polling units to say, we are still members of PDP. And so, all that we require to do, and for the committee to do, is to try to address the apparent little contradictions that we have in our organization and management of the party, and we are good to go. And I want to assure you today that the ordinary party member in the various communities remain very steadfast in their commitment to PDP. And so what we want Nigerians to know is to exercise a little patience with the PDP in trying to resolve some of the contradictions at the national level. And before we talk about it, before 2026, PDP will be as competitive as it has ever been. I want to say that I don't think that there is any regulation preventing PDP from collecting dues. I pay dues. My colleagues here pay dues. And so we're not depending on any governor to run the party. But if at any point we find that the dues we pay cannot sustain the party and it becomes necessary for us to raise the dues, we will raise the dues. But there are sufficient numbers of party men and women that are committed to the party and are paying their dues and will continue to pay the dues to ensure that the PDP does not suffocate from lack of funds. We consider it imperative to issue this statement to assure members of our great party that, contrary to the insinuations that the PDP is in shreds and at the verge of collapse, the party remains very, very strong and will continue to work stronger. The PDP Senate Caucus observes that the current conflicts in the PDP is not unique to the PDP alone, as other political parties, for example, the All Progressive Congress, the Labour Party, and the New Nigerian People's Party have their own shares of crises and conflicts. The Senate Caucus of the PDP, therefore, urges all our teaming members to remain resolute in their commitment, dedication, and loyalty to the party. The caucus believes that a series of activities lined up by the leadership of the party will throw up a new lease of life and leadership in the party that will make it very competitive in future elections. The Senate Caucus of the PDP states further that the beauty of democracy is in the existence of robust opposition to keep the ruling party in check to ensure good governance. Celebrating the emasculation of other parties and tilting towards the one-party state certainly will not advance the cause of democracy. The Senate Caucus of the PDP states that it is not averse to the idea and ideals of coalition. The caucus observes the synthesization of ideas and creating of harmony of coalition should be driven by political parties and not individuals. And as the biggest of all the opposition parties, the PDP's umbrella is big enough to accommodate all persons desirous of coalition. The People's Democratic Party, therefore, should drive the coalition when and if it becomes necessary. Finally, the Senate Caucus of the PDP states emphatically that the party is a big brand that is competitive. In all nooks and crannies of Nigeria, there are PDP members. The caucus asserts, therefore, that out of the truths of the current conflicts in the party will arise a new or renewed vibrant party that will give Nigeria an alternative platform to the current ruling party. The caucus, therefore, urges all members of the party to rededicate, recommit, and demonstrate steadfast and unwavering loyalty to the party to provide a safeguard for democracy in Nigeria.
Supporting the collapse. My question is, looking at what has happened to this party that we are all witnessing in recent weeks, are you assuring Nigerians that this party called PDP is going to be a forward-looking party, or you will concentrate on mitigating a disaster that has rocked the party before you talk of moving forward?
The presidential candidate of the PDP in 2023 is extending an olive branch to the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 to join him to run in 2027. And I hope you will agree with me that as an interested person in the presidential election, even as a member of PDP, he has the right to look out for people or persons who will run with him to be able to win an election. I'm not sure that this text of this press statement has anything to do with the interests and ambitions of any individuals.
Exactly.
Secondly, you asked there of the PDP that you presume is dead. I'm not sure you are a member of PDP, but I'm a member of PDP, and I'm standing here. I'm a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the platform of PDP. And you can look behind here, senators, former governors, senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the platform of PDP in their numbers. I don't think that looks like a party that is dead. And so what we're saying here is that we agree that the recent defections of persons from the PDP to other political parties presents a challenge. That against the backdrop of the desire of the ordinary party man that cuts across all nooks and crannies of the country, we are saying here that the party is still as strong as it has ever been. And that this temporary setback arising from the crisis in the party are things that can be sorted out. And I assure you this, that the PDP is taking steps, lining up a series of activities, reconciliation, addressing issues of conflict in the party, and holding zonal congresses of the party, and eventually holding a national convention that will eventually bring new leadership to the party that will give a greater impetus to the activities of the party. And I'm assuring you that as members of the party, elected on the platform of the party, we are going to work hard with other stakeholders to ensure that PDP continues to remain the party to beat in Nigeria.
BOT used to be very strong, especially during Amandwai, when I was covering PD. Why is it difficult to discipline members who are dragging your party? They are members of PDP, they have taken position in APC government, and they are dragging your party to the dustbin. Why is it difficult? How sure will Saraki's committee be able to live in the board? Two, sir. How will your party come back to the issue of dues? Why am I saying this? To run your party. Because unconstitutionally you have given the power to governors. That the governor is the leader of the party. That is why the leader will not consult with the governor will not consult with anybody in the village. He will not move. Everybody will follow. Because if you fund yourselves very well, I'm sure the party will be able to have money. How will you work on this so that the party will be autonomous? We will not rely on any governor. Thank you.